A head chef refuses President Trump's demand for a controversial dish during a White House state dinner, sparking a fiery confrontation that leaves everyone stunned. President Trump had just finished a meeting with his team preparing for a high-stakes diplomatic dinner with leaders from Japan and Germany at the White House. He wanted the menu to be perfect, a showcase of American excellence. But as he reviewed the final preparations with his staff, one of his aides hesitated, saying, "Sir, there's an issue with the menu. The head chef, Marcus Elwood, is refusing to include the food you requested." Trump stopped mid-step, turning to the aide, his voice sharp. "Refusing? I'm the President of the United States, and I'm hosting world leaders. Get me to the kitchen now." The kitchen doors swung open and Trump marched in, his voice booming. "Marcus Elwood, where's Marcus? I need to speak to the head chef right now." Marcus, a tall man in a chef's uniform, stepped forward, his tone calm but firm. "That's me, Mr. President. How can I help you?" Trump pointed directly at him, his words cutting. "I told your team I wanted foie gras on the menu tonight, Marcus. The best foie gras to impress these dignitaries. They love that stuff, believe me. So why are you refusing to make it?" The other chefs paused their work, glancing over, sensing the tension. A young line cook named Terrence whispered to his colleague, "This isn't good." Marcus stood his ground, his voice steady. "Mr. President, I refuse because I have ethical concerns about foie gras. It's made by force-feeding ducks and geese. A practice I believe is cruel. I won't serve it, not even for a state dinner." Trump laughed, a short, incredulous sound, his hands gesturing widely. "Ethical concerns? Marcus, this isn't a debate club. This is a diplomatic dinner. We're talking about world leaders here. You don't get to play food police when I'm trying to make America look great." Marcus shook his head, his tone unwavering. "I understand the importance of the dinner, sir, but I have principles. I've built my career on sustainable, ethical cooking. Serving foie gras goes against everything I stand for." Trump crossed his arms, his voice rising. "Principles? You're a chef, not a politician. Your job is to cook what I tell you to cook, not to lecture me on what's right or wrong. I've had foie gras at the best places, Marcus. The best. And now you're telling me I can't have it at my own dinner," Marcus replied, his voice calm but resolute. "I'm not lecturing, sir. I'm standing by my values. There are plenty of other dishes on the menu that will impress your guests. Dishes that don't involve animal cruelty." Trump scoffed, pointing again. "You think you know better than me? I've been to more state dinners than you've cooked meals. I know what works and foie gras works. You're making me look bad in front of these leaders." The kitchen staff watched in silence, some exchanging nervous glances. Terrence whispered again, "Marcus isn't backing down. I've never seen him like this." Marcus took a step closer, his tone respectful but firm. "Mr. President, I'm not trying to make you look bad. I suggested alternatives. Seared scallops, a Wagyu beef starter, even a vegetarian option that's been a hit at other events. Any of those would be a showstopper. But foie gras, I can't do it." Trump shook his head, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "Alternatives? I didn't ask for alternatives, Marcus. I asked for foie gras. You're not the one running this country. I am. When I say I want something, I expect it to happen." Marcus held his gaze, his voice steady. "I understand your position, sir, but I have to draw a line. I've been in this industry for 20 years, and I've never compromised on what I believe is right. If that means losing my job, so be it." Trump's eyes narrowed, his tone lowering, a warning edge to it. "Lose your job? Oh, you're playing a dangerous game, Marcus. Let me tell you something. It's the last time you deny me. You hear me? The last time. I don't take no for an answer. Not in my White House." Marcus didn't flinch, his response immediate. "With all due respect, sir, I'm not denying you to be difficult. I'm denying you because I believe it's the right thing to do. You can fire me, but you can't force me to cook something I don't believe in." The kitchen was silent, the staff holding their breath. A sous chef named Lenora whispered to Terrence, "He's really pushing it. I can't believe he said that." Trump stared at Marcus, his expression a mix of frustration and surprise. "You're serious, aren't you? You'd rather lose your job than cook one dish?" Marcus nodded, his voice calm. "Yes, sir. I'd rather lose my job than compromise my integrity. I've worked too hard to build a reputation I can be proud of." Trump ran a hand through his hair, pacing a few steps, then turned back to Marcus, his voice softer but still firm. "You know, Marcus, most people would just do what I say. They'd nod, say yes, sir, and get to work. But you're different. You're stubborn. I'll give you that. Marcus replied, his tone measured. I'm not stubborn, sir. I'm principled. There's a difference. I want this dinner to be a success as much as you do. But I want to do it in a way that I can live with. Trump stopped pacing, looking at Marcus with a new intensity. You really believe this foie gras thing is that bad? Force-feeding ducks, all that? You're not just making this up to mess with me. Marcus shook his head, his voice earnest. No, sir. It's a documented practice. The birds are force-fed through tubes to fatten their livers. It's painful, and many of them suffer. I've seen the farms myself. I can't be part of that, not even for one night. Trump sighed, his tone shifting slightly, less confrontational now. Okay, let's say I believe you. Let's say you're right about the ducks. What am I supposed to do now? I've got these leaders out there expecting the best meal of their lives. You want me to serve them what? A salad? Marcus smiled faintly, his voice steady. Not a salad, sir. The Wagyu beef starter I mentioned, it's sourced from a sustainable farm in Montana. Grass-fed, no hormones, it's melt in your mouth good, and it's a story you can tell your guests. Or the scallops. They're fresh from the Atlantic, pan-seared with a citrus glaze. Either one will have them talking. I guarantee it. Trump raised an eyebrow, his voice skeptical. Wagyu beef, huh? You think that's better than foie gras? I've had Wagyu Marcus at the best places, the best. But I don't know if it's state dinner material, Marcus replied, his tone confident. It's not just state dinner material, sir. It's better. It shows America can lead in sustainability and quality. Your guests will respect that. And honestly, they'll enjoy it more than foie gras. I've served it to diplomats before. They couldn't stop raving about it. Trump crossed his arms again, his voice probing. And what if they don't like it? What if they're sitting there thinking, where's the foie gras? Then what? Marcus held his gaze, his voice firm. Then I'll take full responsibility, sir. But I've been doing this long enough to know what works. I wouldn't suggest it if I wasn't sure. Trump stared at him for a long moment, then let out a chuckle, shaking his head. You've got guts, Marcus. I'll give you that. Most people would have backed down 5 minutes ago. But you're standing there telling me what's what in my own kitchen. Marcus nodded, his tone respectful. I'm just trying to do what's right, sir. For you, for the dinner, and for myself. Trump sighed, his voice softening. All right, Marcus, here's the deal. I'm going to trust you on this one. But if these leaders don't like the Wagyu or the scallops or whatever you're serving, I'm coming back here and we're going to have a very different conversation. You understand? Marcus nodded, his voice steady. Understood, Mr. President. You won't be disappointed. Trump pointed at him one last time, his tone lighter now. You better be right, Marcus. I'm counting on you to make this dinner great. The best, really. Marcus smiled faintly, his voice calm. I will, sir. Trump turned to the staff, his voice carrying a hint of humor. All right, everyone, get back to work. Let's make this dinner a winner, okay? Don't let Marcus down. He's got a lot riding on this. The staff nodded, some smiling as they resumed their tasks. Trump gave Marcus a final nod, then walked out of the kitchen, the doors swinging shut behind him. The team immediately broke into quiet chatter, some clapping Marcus on the back. Terrence turned to him, his voice low. I can't believe you stood up to him like that. That was incredible. Marcus shrugged, picking up a knife to continue prepping. I just did what I had to do. If this moment got you hooked, don't forget to subscribe to Legendary Stories for more incredible moments like this one. What did you think of Marcus standing up to President Trump? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.